Hi, welcome to the Democratic Voter Guide here in Williamson County. This is just a recap of the Zoom meeting that we had tonight. First, you need to find out what your districts are. Please go to govotetn.com and find out which districts you live in. This will make a lot more sense to you once you figure that out. So once you find out your county districts and your Tennessee Senate House districts and your new U.S. congressional district, then you can go through this information. The first thing that I want to make sure everybody understands is that this is two elections on one ballot. So yes, when you walk in, the election commissioner, where your voting location, they will ask you if you would like a Democratic or a Republican primary. And this is because the state and federal, uh, um, the state and federal races are primaries, but the local elections are general elections. So I want to make sure everyone understands that regardless of what kind of primary you choose, you will have both parties' candidates for the local general elections at the bottom of that ballot. So here are the sample ballots for state and federal only. So again, when you go in, you'll be asked about primary ballots. The one to the left is what you will see if you choose a Democratic primary ballot. The one to the right is a Republican primary ballot. If you are a Democrat, do not choose a Republican primary ballot. And I'll tell you why a little bit later. We have 13 amazing local candidates running in all the districts around the county. We have 2 running in the school board and 11 running for county commission. So these are the Democrats that you will see. Now, I know this is a lot on one screen, but this is the sample ballot for the local elections that you will see when you go to the Election Commission website. Now, your ballots are not nearly this big in reality because everyone just lives in one county commission district or just one school board district. But the reason I'm showing you this is because I want you to see that we are running 13 Democrats in this election cycle. And that is huge for us and wonderful in this red county. These people have stepped up to represent you. I also want you to know that the Democratic Party is working very hard to provide these candidates and give you somebody to vote for. Some of you will still not have Democrats that show up on your ballot. And it pains my heart to say that, but we did not have candidates running in some of these districts. So I just want everyone to know, all the Democrats in Williamson County to know that we are working very hard, running a lot of candidates, even if your particular ballot doesn't have one. Now, if that's confusing to you, I have made some sample ballots for you to see if you live in specific districts. So again, these red boxes are me explaining to you that you only live in one of the districts in those red boxes, so your ballot will be much smaller. So if you live in District 2, you will have one Democrat to vote for in that particular district. So you see that the County Commission, District 2, we don't have any Democrats running for that. So these will be your options on your ballot. Now, if you live in District 10, you have 3 Democrats that you can vote for. And we hope and encourage you to go down and do that. Now, if you live in District 12, you do not have any Democrats on your ballot. And for that, again, if you know someone that lives in District 12 that would like to run for office, please have them contact us. We would love to see this filled up and see all of these races contested. It's hard to see a Democrat to see a Republican, waltz into a position and not have anybody that's running against them. So that's very tough to see. But just know that we're working hard, and a lot of the districts do have some Democrats that they can vote for. Now, in some of the districts, we have one person running for county commission. I do want to explain that in the county commission, these are not siloed races, meaning it's not one Republican against one Democrat for 2 county commission seats. It's 4 people running one race, and the 2 that get the most votes will be the commissioners. That's how it works. So if you only see one Democrat running in your district, please only vote for them. That's it. If you vote for one Democrat and go, oh, well, I get 2 votes, so I'm going to vote for one of these other Republicans, you have just canceled out the vote in essence for the Democrat. So please only go down and vote for just the one Democrat that's on the ballot. And yes, your vote will still count 100%. Even if it says vote for 2 and you only choose one, it's the ballot goes through, the vote is counted. So please do so. Please do not vote in the Republican primary. You are not a Republican. It does not affect the outcome. You let that party handle their own stuff. We need you in the Democratic Party. We need you to help us choose who's going to go to the general election. And in this particular race, it is extremely important that we have all Democrats help choose the right person that's going to go up against the Republicans in these newly gerrymandered U.S. congressional districts. We need to know that we have the strongest candidate going in against Andy Ogles and whoever wins the Republican primary in 9. So please, please, please pull that primary. And I want to mention that it may be illegal if you do because of this. The Republicans have passed a law, this is a real law in our state, that says that you cannot vote in a primary unless you're a bona fide member. The problem with this law is that there is no way to verify a bona fide member. This is unenforceable law. Now, why am I bringing that up? If I don't want you to vote in the Democratic primary, it's because I want you not to do it for the right reason. So maybe I'm threading a needle. You do not need to vote in the Democratic primary, but it's not because you live in a state that has voter suppression and that is strategically doing this to keep people from coming out to the polls, to scare them, to confuse them. This is criminal. In my opinion, everyone should feel like they have a say in any voting in our country, and this should not happen. But the Republicans have done this in Tennessee. With that said, you should vote in a primary with a party that you affiliate with, and you're on this call. So if you affiliate with the Democrats, we need you to help us pick our leaders, to grow our party, to support our candidates, to show that more of us live here. So again, these are the dates. Early voting starts on the 17th. Please, 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 the earlier you vote, the better, because our candidates will be actively canvassing, phone banking, and reaching out to voters up until Election Day. So please, please, please vote early so they can cross you off their list and they know that they have your support in your vote. And these primaries will be for the midterms. I just wanted to put up some of the voting in there so you could have that in the back of your head, that we're going to do this all over again in October with our state and federal races of the people that win those primaries. I think our entire country is going to be watching nationwide to see what happens at this midterm election. These are some upcoming events. If you live in the newly formed District 9, that is east of 65 or some of North Franklin and Brentwood on the west side of 65, we have an event coming up next week. It is an RSVP and there's limited space, but you'll get to meet London Lamar, Justin Pearson, and Jim Torino. They're all running in that primary, and then you can decide which one of those folks that you'd like to vote for. We always have coffee with Dems the last Saturday of every month. Chaz Mulder, who is the mayor in Columbia, a lot of people know him. He'll be coming up for an event also in August. If you have any additional questions, please do not hesitate to reach out by email, come by our headquarters, call us on the phone. We would absolutely love to help you out and to answer any questions that you have.